Good day, you absolute legends. Today, we're diving into a deep wish list for No Man's Sky in 2025. I've compiled a list of features and updates that fans, and even including myself, have passionately been asking for over the years. Hello Games has blown us away with updates like Echoes and Outlaws and Worlds Part 1, transforming this game into the universe-spanning epic it is today. But with so much potential, the No Man's Sky community always has more ideas, and that's what today's video is all about. But before we do get into today's video, ladies and gentlemen, as always, can I just ask for you just double check that you are indeed still subscribed to the channel. If you need to resubscribe, please do resubscribe, or if you have been watching me for a while and you like what I do, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button? You definitely will not regret it. Anyway, we have a lot to cover today, so let's get right on into today's video. So number one, ladies and gentlemen, is enhanced multiplayer features. Starting with one of the biggest areas of potential, multiplayer. No Man's Sky has grown its multiplayer aspects considerably, but there is still plenty of room to deepen that experience. Right now, you can team up with friends, build bases together, and even tackle shared missions, but players want to go even further. Imagine if No Man's Sky offered more engaging multiplayer quests that required coordination and strategy. Think group missions where teams could take on dangerous alien creatures, hostile fleets, or challenging puzzles together. There could even be a raid-style mode where a team could battle through waves of enemies for rare rewards. This would give multiplayer a purpose beyond exploration and resource gathering. Another idea could be for a more diverse multiplayer hub world. Now, this isn't necessarily the anomaly that we currently have, but imagine like a massive space station or a planet where players can gather, trade, and share adventures. A hub world could allow for markets, social gatherings, and even in-game player events. Imagine in-game festivals and tournaments where players can compete in various challenges. Another idea on this, and it is a little bit more of a controversial topic, but what about custom player factions or clans? With these, you could join or create a group that has unique symbols, shared resources, and even territory in the galaxy. This would add a competitive layer where factions could compete for influence and power or resources, making each play session feel dynamic and adding stakes to every exploration. Now, I understand before you all hump me in the comment section for that one, but there is 256 galaxies. There could be one galaxy out of the 256 just dedicated to that and leave everything else as it is. That way then it caters for all players, for those that really don't want this feature, but for those also that really do, like yours truly. Next up, we have advanced planetary diversity. Now, what do I mean by that? More diverse and realistic planetary biomes. No Man's Sky has quintillions of planets, but seasoned players sometimes feel that biomes can look a bit too similar. And yeah, it has gotten better with recent updates, but that can really be further on improved. So what if every planet felt like a truly unique world? The community has voiced ideas like planets with drastically different climates, such as those inspired by real-world extremes. For example, picture a volcano planet with rivers of lava, or mountainous worlds where cliffs tower thousands of meters into the sky. So not like the normal ones that we have where, yeah, we do have volcanoes, but we don't exactly have running lava. Yeah, the volcanoes do explode from time to time, but they are essentially just big hills. They're not really like volcano size. I think a change like that would be amazing. Other suggestions include planets covered in dense alien jungles or bizarre landscapes with surreal, non-Earth-like geometry. Again, we do have foliage and trees in No Man's Sky, and they could be way more dense than what they currently are. I understand, obviously, there is limitations on console and so on, but maybe the team could find a way around that to really include more dense alien foliage. That would be, again, utterly amazing. Planetary diversity could also mean new wildlife ecosystems where the creatures are affected by their environment. Imagine landing on a jungle planet where animals are camouflaged, or finding nocturnal predators that can only come out at night. These types of changes would make planetary exploration even more exciting and create memorable discoveries. Or another idea here is planetary physics. Now, we already have low gravity planets where obviously if you jump a heck of a lot higher, you can use your jetpack for longer and so on. On the flip side to that, why not have high gravity worlds where, for example, if you jump, you only jump like quarter of the distance. Running is a lot more of an effort. Even just like getting from point A to point B is an utter challenge, and this would add strategic depth, as players would need to prepare differently for each type of planet that they do visit. Next up, we have enhanced ship customization. Now, we know here, ladies and gentlemen, that ships are a central and integral part to No Man's Sky, because without a ship, you ain't gonna get very far in the game. And in recent times, for customization options, we have actually been treated to where we can even build our very own ships, and that's everything from engine, wings, cockpits, colors. We can change the entire lot. But what if it went even further, like adding details or even changing the size of the ships? Now, currently, the ships in No Man's Sky are not very big. But what happens if we can make them incredibly big? And with that, maybe we could even customize the internal parts of that ship, where you could physically go and walk into a ship and you could have a living quarters, you could have a weapons room, you could have all sorts of things in there. That would be amazing, full-on customization, or even just a more interactive interior of the ship itself. That, again, would be amazing. And if you could go ahead and customize an actual ship like that, and you can make them a little bit bigger, then essentially you are going to be making it into a mobile base with a personalized feel. Now, I do understand with this one, you could easily make the argument that we have freighters in the game, and, you know, we already have something like this, but on freighters. But freighters, you can't physically fly around or anything like that. You can just walk from point A to point B, and that's about it. But with a ship, it's a lot more dynamic. So next up, we have dynamic NPC interactions and quest lines. Now, one thing that could add a lot to No Man's Sky is richer NPC interactions. Right now, NPCs offer small quest trades and lore bits, but they don't often feel very dynamic. Players want NPCs who feel like they're a part of the universe. Now, imagine, if you will, a more involved quest line where your choices matter. For example, if you go to the Gex or the Vikings and you do a couple of quests for them, you can gain loyalty. And yeah, we do have something like this in game currently, but it could really be expanded, where if you gain loyalty with one faction, it dynamically decreases your loyalty with the next. So if you're gaining a lot of loyalty with, let's say, the pirates, then maybe every other normal NPC out there, like Gex and Viking and so on, just decrease your loyalty. And maybe that you could even be blocked from going into space stations entirely and only into pirate space stations. Something along the lines of that. Or maybe if you only go ahead and help like a Gex faction, then you are then barred out of all other systems, like out of Viking systems and so on. Again, it could be more dynamic play like that. And going beyond that, I mean, maybe faction-specific storylines as well that reveal hidden lore and backstory, but to those specific factions, and with rewards, again, that you only get from completing those kind of quests that reflect your loyalty to said faction. Again, that could be you're doing something for the Gex, or you're doing something for the Vikings, or you're doing something to be an outlaw, and you get rewards, lore, backstory that you can only get from participating with one faction or another. Now, this could even be expanded on again even further with interactive dialogue systems where NPCs remember you based on your actions. If you repeatedly help a certain group, they could reward you with special gear, or perhaps a rival faction would send bounty hunters after you. This level of interaction would make every interaction feel important, adding an RPG-like depth to the game. Now, overall of space stations and fleet management. Now, again, we have just had an overall to the space station with the way that they look and how it's all kind of procedurally generated now. But again, we could go beyond that just a little bit. And space stations and fleets are crucial parts of No Man's Sky experience. They really are. Currently, you can buy upgrades and manage some aspects of your freighter, but imagine being able to truly manage your own space station. The Vision is fully customizable space station where you could choose its layout, defense systems, and economy. This way, players could create a space station that attracts specific types of NPCs and resources. For example, a trading hub could focus on attracting merchants, while a military outpost might focus on defense and host dangerous space battles. On the fleet side, players would love to have more control over their ships, assigning specific roles, formations, and behaviors to each ship in the fleet. Imagine a fleet that travels with you and defends you in battle. Now, I know when you call in a freighter, then yeah, all your other ones kind of like spawning behind them, the ones that you have, the smaller ships. But what if you could dynamically control them, and if you do get into a space battle, they would actually all interact in that space battle and start firing on your enemies, that kind of thing. And lastly, we have endgame content and challenges. Now, No Man's Sky, in my opinion, needs more endgame content for experienced players. Right now, high-end level players can still explore and build, but there's a demand for challenges that push players to their limits. Imagine alien boss fights, more than what we currently have, hidden quest lines, or unique worlds that only the more skilled explorers can reach. Now, we do have, for example, the purple systems coming into the game, or even beyond that, there could be just some systems that only if you complete pretty much everything in the game and you're right to that end point, then you can access. And maybe if we do have like levels in the game, like player levels, then maybe once you reach, let's say, level 50, level 100 or so on, then you can gain access to these particular worlds and systems. Imagine elite level missions and challenges such as defending rare creatures, navigating deadly biomes, or discovering ancient artifacts guarded by powerful entities. I'm talking where you need a team of people to take these things down. That kind of level. This would give veterans something new to strive for and ensure the journey through space never truly ends. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agreed with any of these features here today. What would you like to see added in No Man's Sky in 2025? I'm sure next year is going to be another massive year for No Man's Sky. So let me know all of your wish list ideas in the comment section down below. You know what to do. But as always, I just want to say a massive thank you to my Patreon members. And if you want to go ahead and support the channel any more today, you can do by clicking on my Patreon link in the video description down below. It starts off at a completely free tier, then goes up into subsequent tiers from there. Or alternatively, you can click the join button for my YouTube channel ship members, and you can go ahead and support me through that method as well. It starts off with that as the price of a cup of coffee, and it is a massive help to the channel. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, just leaving a like on this video, subscribing, and all leaving a comment is more than enough. But if you do want to go down the extra route today and support the channel a little bit more, then I just want to say a massive thank you from myself in advance. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's everything from me here today. And as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.